Hello and welcome back to Concert Critiques in Cars with Emily. So tonight was kind of a different show than I would normally go to. Actually, my sister was the one who told me about this, so I went with her and her friend. And so getting there was pretty easy. It was at 9:30 Club, so I know the free parking, and I even got like my old school free parking, which is like one of my favorite parking spots ever in DC when I go to a venue, so that was really awesome. We walked around, went out to dinner beforehand, so it was pretty much awesome getting there. There was not a lot of traffic. I know that Montgomery County didn't have school today, so I'm thinking maybe that had a little bit to do with why the traffic was a little bit lighter than normal. So yeah, overall getting there was really actually pretty easy and can't really complain about that. So let's get into the actual show. So the show was Dean Lewis. He was the headliner, and then Scott Helman was opening for him. So Dean Lewis is technically, I guess, a singer-songwriter, or maybe even technically pop, but I'm not gonna lie, this concert overall, I mean, both bands pretty much felt like very rockish, which was awesome. I really enjoyed that fact that both bands kind of had a totally different energy than you would maybe expect from the genre of music that they normally are known for. So let's actually talk about the band. So the opener was Scott Helman, and I mean, overall his songs were really energetic. He tried to get the crowd involved in almost every single song by either having them clap or sing or a combination of both. Really, really energetic, was moving around the stage the whole time, even when he had instruments in his hand. It was pretty impressive. Personally, I really loved the first and fifth song that he played. I thought they were fantastic. Especially the opening song, I really liked the verses and the music, and the fifth song I really enjoyed as well. Again, really energetic. At one point, he did a mashup. He played Wanna Dance With Somebody, so that was pretty fun. And again, that was definitely a point where he had the crowd singing, and he's like, come on guys, like this is like, you know, this song. So again, really energetic and really tried to play off the energy of the crowd. When he started playing his new single, he said, this is a song I released today, and this is the very first time I've ever played this song. So he messed up, and he was like, wait, no, I messed up. Stop. We gotta start again. So then they started again, and it was a really good song. I really liked it. But it was just so cute that he kind of messed up and had them stop, but didn't, take it in a negative way, just kind of took it in stride and continued with the show. So that was pretty cool. Overall, really interesting set. Definitely, did what his job was, right, to get the crowd pumped for the next band. So at one point he even talked about how he doesn't usually check his phone and he hates his phone, but then the method that helped him figure out that he was going to be on this tour with Dean Lewis was by being DM'd on Instagram or whatever app. So that was pretty funny that he was like, well, I guess I don't hate my phone that much. So again, just like a really energetic guy with his band, and yeah, definitely kind of went all out and got the crowd involved as often as he could. So definitely a cool opening set. Had never heard any of his music before. And he had a lot of like sadder lyrics, or the songs were about sad, serious things, but the music was really upbeat, and then hearing it with a full band was really good too. I definitely would be interested to see what it's like without a full band, if that is what his recorded versions are like. But yeah, definitely would check him out for sure. So then Dean Lewis. So I have been listening to Dean Lewis on and off to try and get ready for this show, knowing that I would be going and wanting to be prepared. And I thought that I was not as well prepared as I was, apparently. I was actually really impressed that I knew pretty much almost every song except for maybe two. The first song that he came out to was so fantastic. I knew it, and it was just such a energetic song, and I really, really liked the energy and thought it was a fantastic start to the show. And again, like, I know the song, and I know what it sounds like in the recorded version, but seeing it live with a live drummer and a guitarist, and there was a band member who kind of did everything. He played keyboard, he played bass, he played like a whole bunch of different instruments. So yeah, so it was definitely really cool to see that song live with this like full energy, and it was really an energetic song. Then he played definitely a couple songs that I didn't really know or didn't know that well, but even those were fantastic, and the sound was totally on point, like so much on point. And so what happens sometimes with these singer-songwriters when they have a full band with them is their lyrics tend to get lost, and I can't tell you how many times that's happened. I'm sure I've complained about it in these videos before, but I was really impressed. Like, his voice was the loudest part, and even maybe to a point where it was probably too loud, like in context with the other instruments, but it worked and you could hear all the lyrics, and that's really what mattered. And again, even the songs I didn't know, you have like the slower start sometimes, but then it really builds towards the end for most of his songs. So it was really impressive. So then he talked about how, for Chemical, the song, I think this is interesting just because I'm a lyrics person, definitely at heart for sure, as opposed to like being more interested in the musical side of it, or the instrumental side. So it was really interesting. He talked about how for Chemicals, all the lyrics came at once while he was on a road trip, and he said like that doesn't really happen very often. So that definitely was a piece of his songwriting that I kind of found an interest in and was interested to hear about. And like it sucked because unfortunately for me, that song was kind of the least energetic up to that point in the show. So I was like, oh, like this like cool, interesting story, and yeah, it's all right. So that was kind of not my favorite song of theirs, especially after hearing a story about it and like being interested and being like, oh, like I can't wait to hear this song now. So yeah, that was like a little bit disappointing. Then after that, he apologized to all the boyfriends that were there. So I thought that was really cool. And he moved from like the main mic with his guitar to just play the keyboard. And he talked about how people wanted to buy this song and were like telling him to sell it. And he was like, nah, this song is like a me song, and I think I'm going to play it myself. And so that was half of me. And I really liked that song. I thought seeing it live and just kind of seeing his emotion while he was playing that song was excellent. They played it with a cello, so that was cool. It was him on the keyboard and then the cello. The only thing I would say is I think the keyboard was a little loud because I couldn't really hear the cello unless the keyboard wasn't being played, really. But then towards the end I could kind of hear the cello, so I don't know if the sound guy fixed it during the song or if I just was so focused on the emotion of the song, because it was really good. Like seeing Dean Lewis sing that song at the keyboard and kind of just watching his like body and hands like on the keys, and then his just like the sound of his voice during certain lyrics in that song really was very powerful and really interesting and just really cool to see live. So if you ever get a chance, just for that song in and of itself, really great song overall, like when you hear it recorded, but then to see it live was really something that I was really excited to see, and definitely didn't think I would like that song live as much as I did, and it definitely kind of impressed me. Definitely a highlight, one of the highlights of the show for me for sure. Then he played a lot of songs. He called it acoustic, and so all 4 of the band members were lined up on the stage, which wasn't that crazy to really think about because 2 of them or 3 of them were up on the stage at any point. But the drummer came up and just had like a smaller drum kit with only like 2 or 3 drums. So they played a couple songs like that. So that was pretty cool. I liked that. I liked that they were all like up in the front, and I thought actually the percussion for all 3 of those songs was really interesting because it, again, wasn't that full set. So how it worked with the songs was really good. And these were all songs that I had heard before because I had listened to the album, like I said. So some of them I knew like pretty well because I liked them from the recording, and some of them I just recognized the choruses too. But again, they were all so good, and just seeing all these songs live with these more powerful sounding instruments definitely changed the energy of the song compared to when they are recorded. After those couple songs, he played his biggest single, and I really loved the Subtle Changes. Sorry, I don't know the name, but it's definitely the one that's on the radio the most, not Waves, that comes later. But I really, really liked that song. I thought it was really well done, and I really did like the subtle changes. My only critique would be to make more subtle changes, because I loved the ones that were made, but it was only like 3 or 4 of them, and I was like, that would have been an opportunity to make a change. So I liked it. It was cool to see live, and now I can be like, oh guys, I saw that song, it was really great. But I would have liked to see more of like a change. And it's funny because so then right after that he played 7 Minutes, and I didn't know that that's what the song was called, but once he started playing it I was like, oh my gosh, I love this song. And even that song, even though there weren't necessarily more subtle changes, the energy of that song, like towards the middle, maybe like after the bridge or during the bridge, I mean, it just like took on a whole new life. And I was like, this song is like so good, and he didn't even change it that much. I wish this had happened for the previous song. So it was just really interesting, and I do think that 7 Minutes was a really good follow-up to his most popular song, especially because you had that like just total change in energy, and it was just so awesome towards the end. It was just became almost like a whole different song, so I really liked that. And then after that, they did a cover, and it was a cover that I saw yesterday, and so I was like, this is the second time in my life that this has happened, which might not sound crazy, but if you think about it, it is pretty crazy. So the cover song Dean Lewis played was When We Were Young by The Killers, which was the cover song that Sub Radio played yesterday. And again, I know you're thinking like it's not really that big of a deal, that's a popular song, but think about all of the artists and all of like that are out now at playing concerts. The fact that I saw these bands 2 nights in a row, and the fact that they both chose a Killer song, and the fact that it happened to be that specific Killer song. So that was awesome. And again, this is the second time the same Killer song has been played at least 2 concerts in a row for me. So like, what are the odds? I love this, and I just hope that this continues, and I am so pumped. And again, like, the more this happens, the more just totally awesome I feel like this is in general. The fact that the Killers tend to be this band that I can never escape in terms of covers. So that was really great. I really liked that they chose that song, and I was super glad that now I can say that that has happened to me in life twice. And then after that, they played For the Last Time, which he talked about it being like the first song he was proud of, and how, you know, he'd written all these songs, but there was never really a song that he felt confident in playing until this song. So I really liked that story. I thought it was pretty cool. And again, it was like a great song to see live. It definitely changed that feel for sure. And then after that, they went off stage for an encore, and he played Straight Back Down, which I really, really liked that song live. I like it on the recording, but I definitely liked it live more than I thought I was going to. So I thought it was a really great song to come back out to. I really, really liked that choice. I thought it was really good. And then they ended with Waves, and it was awesome. They played Waves really well. But again, there wasn't like a ton of changes. I mean, don't get me wrong. So they kind of ended the song, and then after that, they like were, you know, people were like cheering like it was over, and even some people were kind of getting ready to leave, and then they kind of finished the song. Like, they finished up that last part of the song. So that part was cool, and that part definitely had like this way higher energy than the normal recording version had. But yeah, definitely didn't have like those subtle changes that would have been fun to see. But again, just the energy was different, so that was really pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, overall, the show was really great. I think the energy of both bands went above and beyond what I had expected for sure. And again, you know, when you listen to the recordings, especially, there are some Dean Lewis songs. I mean, I haven't heard any recordings of Scott Helman, but I have listened to Dean Lewis, so I just thought it was interesting how, you know, some of the songs you're like, oh, this is going to be a slower song. Yeah, it might have started slower, or it may have started in an acoustic manner, but then it's like just the band comes in and you're like, oh my gosh, this song is like just so exciting, and I just am totally pumped about it. So I really loved that overall. I thought that was really great. Again, the opener was really energetic and definitely played the role of opening band. They got the crowd moving. Maybe a little too much crowd involvement, especially considering not many people knew the songs, so maybe pull that back a little bit. But again, bad is not the right word. Like, it was just, you know, you got to a point where you're like, all right, let's just play the song and move on. But yeah, really, really great set. Really liked a lot of the music, especially that first and fifth song. Thought it was really good. Dean Lewis was fantastic. I really liked seeing all the songs that I knew, and even the songs I didn't know were really good. And again, like, just that like vibe and that energy was really great. I mean, obviously there were that one song was definitely a low chemicals, just because you were like in such a high energy mode, and he was playing all these great songs, and then, you know, you get this cool story about how all the lyrics were written at once. At least in my opinion, it was a cool story. And then it was like, and now we are slowing it down. And just, I don't know, just the energy wasn't there for me in that song like it was for the other songs, even the songs I didn't know. So I think, oh God, this is kind of hard, because I really did like this show overall, and it even ended early, and parking was super great. Oh, jeez. Really can't complain about it. Like almost anything, hardly anything. So I feel like because of that, I mean, it's definitely got to give this show like a higher score. I'm actually really impressed because I didn't think I was going to enjoy Dean Lewis as much as I did. And maybe it was because I listened so much, but I'm glad I did because I really, really enjoyed it. So I think I'm going to give this one a 9.5. It was awesome, and I really had a great time. There were only a few little things that I would have changed, but overall, it was awesome. So let me know what you think. Do you agree? Were you there? Did you want to be there? Are you going to see him? Did you already see him? Comment below. Please let me know. Like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next weekend, I think, or sooner. No, probably next weekend. All right, bye guys.